Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Welcome to Sunday Fan Questions. Usually on Mondays and Fridays apps, we get to the YouTube ones first. So if you want to submit a question, submit it below here in the YouTube comments for tomorrow's show. That's where Nick and Chin see them and pick the fastest way to get your question answered by putting the YouTube comments, or you can DM me like these fine ladies and gentlemen did, and I see those as well. But the fastest way, the best way is in the YouTube comments. So fire away whenever you want. We get pretty wacky with them.
Also put fan question above it.
So so they know. So we can separate it. All right. Andrew.ntt. Go up. Let me see the first one. Keep going. When fighters become a meme after a KO like Macy Barber did, do you just think it's something that lights fire under them and motivates them to come back stronger or better? Did we answer this one already?
It might have, because this is the second one you put out.
What's your Mount Rushmore on UFC press conference moments? I miss them. He didn't say them. I miss them massive press conferences. I miss these massive press conferences that used to make the gravity fights seem so much more of must-see TV and build up the excitement for the fights. I feel like we need to have a panel-style presser. They did that, I think, today on Thursday or Wednesday for the Miami fight. We can spark rivalries and build the viral moments. Yeah, the issue is there so far there hasn't been a big reason to do a press conference. I think the closest we'll get to the ones you're referring to, like the Conor press conference against Aldo, he's jacking the belt, you know, the Conor, Khabib stuff.
All of them are Conor.
Most of them are Conor. There's been a lot of the John Jones DC stuff. Those are all rivalries. And we don't have any rivalries, but we have one coming up, and I bet the UFC's going to capitalize on it, and this will tell us a lot, the state of the UFC. Strickland Khamzat. That should be a big press conference, big weigh-in. Some of the hellacious shit Strickland's gonna say to Khamzat, that thing's gonna be cooking. That's a rivalry that we've needed for a long time, and that checks that box.
You know what mine are? I go Chael Sonnen and
Anderson?
Vanderlei Silva.
That's a good one.
That's a top one. John Jones DC.
Yep.
Conor Nate.
Yep.
Conor Aldo, especially the speech where he's like, I would, if this was back then, I would have come in on a horse and take over. I forgot what he said, but it was great.
Yeah, those are great.
And Liddell Tito.
Those are great. Yeah, those are all good fucking picks. Yeah. The closest thing, again, you need that kind of bad blood, and we haven't had the UFC in quite some time, like real bad blood, but Khamzat Strickland checks that box. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what the UFC does with that. I bet you get an old school throwback press conference.
Honorable mention, Brock Lesnar versus Coors Light.
That was great.
I drink Bud Light.
Yeah. No, he knows I drink Coors Light.
Oh, it was Coors.
Because they had a Bud Light sponsor.
Oh, yeah, it was Bud Light.
And they had to apologize in the back. Dan was like, what the fuck are you doing? Underscore kid Danny. Not really a question, Bubba. Just wanted to shout out what a huge boost Nick has been on both the Schaub Show and Thiccc. One addition, also changed the name to Big Brown Breakdown. Hope you and the fam are doing well. Oh, what a nice freaking gentleman.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. We got to figure out the Big Brown Breakdown. Maybe we call the Patreon Big Brown Breakdown.
We don't want to confuse things.
Too many names.
Yeah, I think just keep either.
You got to pick a name.
I mean, how married are you to the Schaub Show?
I'm not married to anything, dude.
Except for my wife, Big Brown. I love the Big Brown Breakdown.
I'm down for that. When should we make the change?
You should put a vote in the comment section.
I can guarantee you, I'll bet tons of money that they'll choose Big Brown Breakdown.
See, I don't know, but I think in the comment section, put down which name you think you'd rather see. Schaub Show.
We'll base it solely off that. If we get more Big Brown Breakdowns, if it's lukewarm, we'll keep it the Schaub Show.
Yeah.
But if we get a ton of changes to Big Brown Breakdown, just put Big Brown Breakdown. And if we get enough of those, I'll change it next week.
No,
it's up to you guys.
Put a comment, fans. Schaub Show comment, Big Brown Breakdown.
Yep.
And I'll count them up.
Love that. Ian Smith 17. Hey, dude, been trying to get this answer for a while. Would you rather be a heavyweight now when it's easier to be champ, or in your day when there are more eyes on the sport and the division? Definitely when I was fighting, it meant a lot more. There were a lot more eyeballs. It was a tougher gig. There's just more competition. There's more huge names. So by the time you did become champ, you beat some of the biggest names in the sport. And you just got a lot more traction. Like you couldn't walk the streets. Like even the top 10 guys, like everyone knew who you were. Now go 1 through 10, top 10 in the UFC. Can't do it. Once you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're fucked.
I can name the first 5.
Of course.
And then I got to go.
Yeah, they're like, there's that one guy. Yeah. So it doesn't mean as much because the competition's not as stiff. There's not as big stars. There's no legends. So yeah, definitely back in the day. At Mike Daly. Thoughts on Wilder? I love the guy and always pull for him, but his interviews are getting more and more bizarre ever since he did ayahuasca. He goes from laughing and joking to screaming in a white lady's face for no reason to crying. His fury and other boxing conspiracies are wild. Oh, his fury conspiracies are wild.
That's the glove.
Yeah, the
conspiracy.
glove. Yeah, no, Bubba. To anyone asking questions, shout out your city and let them boys know where you're listening from. Baton Rouge, baby. Shout out to Baton Rouge. Love me some Louisiana. Love it. It was just there with wifey doing a haunted tour. Yeah, his conspiracies on Fury, it's just, you gotta let that go, man. I agree. Ever since he did ayahuasca, he's a different dude. But in that Chisora fight leading up to that, him talking about busting nuts on stomachs, you're like, all right. That went super viral, sold the fight. Most people didn't even know he's fighting till then.
Yeah, I forgot what he said before the knockout. What he said, I love you, man. That was cool.
That was cool. I'm a Wilder fan. I love Wilder. We've worked with him. He's a good dude. I agree. Since he did ayahuasca, it's changed some chemistry in his brain, though. Him versus Francis is the fight. Bud Sonic E710.
Bud's on ice.
Bud's on ice 710. Butts on ice. All right. What up, y'all? Much love, appreciation from all the work y'all put. Keep me, all the fans entertained. So, I've been watching One Championship fighting live Friday mornings on YouTube for free. Yeah, it's great fights. As I'm sure you know, they have Muay Thai fights, sometimes just kickboxing, and believe they will also have MMA fights. They have Muay Thai and MMA gloves. I could be incorrect on the MMA part. Anyway, I've been watching these fights and find myself enjoying them more than some of the UFC cards lately because it's so much action, buddy. Mind you, I have no clue who these fighters are. Almost all of them, even the complete badass dude, have double-digit losses on the records, it seems. Shit, I even seen a dude from Dagestan fight a Muay Thai fight, and he was a problem. Now I have been dedicated UFC fan since roughly 2006 after catching the Griffin Bonner fight, but I find myself getting bored watching some of these cards now, and I'm turning into a shitty casual. No. Side note, women's UFC has some crazy fights as of recently. Agree. Women's fighting's been so low for a few years now. In the last few weeks, right back where we started, it's going great. No, you're not turning into a crazy shitty casual fan. Not that casual fans are shitty. You like exciting, good fighting at a high level. So what you're watching on One Championship, you're watching guys with hundreds of fights compete at the highest level in Muay Thai, and it's entertaining even though they don't know who you are. The problem with the UFC is guys come from the Contender Series. They're not really high-level fighters, but because the UFC has to fulfill these 42 fights a year, you're getting guys where 10 years ago would never compete in the UFC because they weren't ready. So it's not a casual take. It's actually a very educated and hardcore take. The reason why you're gravitating towards One Championship and these other organizations because it's high-level fighting and you have an eye for it. You've been watching since 2006. You know, I know, when you watch some of these fights on the UFC, these guys wouldn't be in the UFC if it was 8, 9, 10 years ago because the caliber was and the standard was so much higher. But now they've lowered the bar. A guy that has an exciting fighting Contender Series who has 3 fights is fucking on a main card on a fight night at the Apex now. You know it's not high-level fighting. So, no, this is not a casual take. This is a hardcore take.
It's like he tricked into reading a book.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec.
_Ryan _.07_. We've heard from this guy before. I remember this name. Yo, Brendan, big fan, homie. I remember back in August after DDP Khamzat, you were super high on Khamzat, still am. And say, quote, No one on the roster has the ability to beat Khamzat, and you might be thinking Fluffy or Strickland or RDR, insert whoever. I'm telling you, no one has the wrestling background to beat him. But on a recent show, you said that Khamzat Sean is a great fight and much closer than people think. What made you change your mind? I think Strickland's last performance against Fluffy, the physical shape he was in, the mental space he was in, the execution of it, I went, ooh, that could pose some problems from Khamzat. The way he just completely annihilated Fluffy, who was on an 8-fight winning streak, and then watching DDP Khamzat, the ground and pound wasn't impressive, right? The wrestling's insane. And I stick by this. There's no one who can compete with Khamzat in wrestling. Not possible. So when I compare those two last outings, I go, okay, Strickland has pretty good takedown defense. He will get taken down by Khamzat. You can bet your bottom dollar he gets taken down. But I don't watch Khamzat go, oof, it goes to the ground, this thing's over. Like a Charles Oliveira or like certain other dangerous fighters. You're not like, ooh, if this goes to the ground, this thing's over. It's like, Strickland's pretty tough down there. He could get back to his feet. His cardio's insane. The pressure. That fight goes into 3, 4, 5. I could see this being a problem for Khamzat. That's all I'm saying. I'm still super high on Khamzat. I've always been high on Strickland. I just think stylistically, it's Khamzat's toughest test. Now, if Khamzat went in there and fucking submitted him in 30 seconds, I'd be like, yeah, Khamzat's a fucking animal. If Strickland beat him, I'm like, yeah, it's a tough matchup.
One thing I didn't take into consideration, I was thinking about the other day, was they have trained for a while together.
Yep.
So it's not like Sean's going in there completely blind to what Khamzat's all about.
And
Khamzat's definitely
apparently
better.
Strickland did very good in training.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you see the video of DJ and Khamzat messing around together? Really shows you how good DJ would be if he was a larger person. I mean,
bigger? Oh, nightmare.
Yeah, I bet you if he was Khamzat's size,
Best
he'd be,
well
yeah, it's like better than Jones, unstoppable.
Not even close. Joe Morgan 93. Do you think Darren Till versus Jake Paul would be a good fight? I feel like it's the perfect matchup. Till's looking for a big money fight. If Jake is still planning on continuing boxing career, why not come back and fight against an ex-UFC fighter turned boxer that's on a winning streak? Yeah. I think Jake's trying to get away from the MMA guys when it comes to boxing. That's why he's challenging Nate to MMA fight because he beat Nate in boxing, right? So I think for Jake, if he were to take that fight, he'd want to do it in MMA. I think once you fight the likes of Anthony Joshua, you don't want to go back and fight MMA guys in boxing. I think if you're going to get Darren Till versus Jake, it's an MMA.
A theory I have is he used the MMA guys almost like how, you know, when boxers are first getting started, they'll fight boxers with losing records just to like build their record. Like he used the MMA guys to get to the big boxing fights where he can make the most money. So
correct. And he used it because he knew he was focused on boxing and he'd have an advantage, but he also was smart and brilliant by doing it because he knows the MMA fan base would tune in to see him lose.
Yeah.
So he's taken it's like him collecting the stones. He's taken their fan base and he's becoming a household name against lesser competition.
So much as a fun fight as it would be to see Till, I feel like Jake's mind is on the money.
Yeah.
And that's not a big money. No one. It's not like it's going to do bigger numbers versus Joshua, or him versus Tyson, or him versus Canelo, which I'm sure Canelo is someone he wants.
And if he loses, it's like fuck, you lost the MMA guy. He'd rather lose to Anthony Joshua or Canelo.
Yeah, because that doesn't hurt his brand.
No, you're fighting the best of the best in their respective sport. So if he were to fight Darren Till, I think Jake will fight Nate next in MMA, and if that goes well, he would be open to fighting Darren Till in MMA. But I don't see him going back fighting MMA guys in boxing. He already checked that box. K Watts 94. Hey, Brendan, never thought I would see the state of UFC like it is now. This Miami card is fire, but was a normal card years ago. Exactly what I was saying. Do you feel the UFC are feeding the casuals, or is there any hope of this getting back to the banger fight we always got every numbered event? To put it in perspective, I've watched MMA for about 20 years, and a person at my work loves UFC and doesn't know who most of the main events are. Hope your family's well. Thanks, brother. No, I agree with you. Like, we're all hot and heavy over UFC 327, 328. This was the standard 8 years ago. But those times have changed. is there any hope of us getting back? There's like those days are done. Like us hanging on to those days where the cards were super special. I think for the most part, those days are over. And the landscape and the amount of fires that they have and the obligations they have to fulfill the cards, they can't do it like they used to back in the day. So they've changed their business model. So those days are done, Bubba. And it's all good. You're still getting good fights for the most part, but you'll watch some of those prelims and you guys know, especially if you've been watching 20 years, you're like, oh, that guy's not UFC caliber.
I think the only way that it's possible for them to get back to that is if at the end of the next court, like they might be obligated for these quarters for Paramount, but the Paramount executives would go, okay, you know what? Having this many cards is not beneficial for us. So what we have to do is go back to the old model of X amount of fights.
That'd be great.
And then, but I also feel like there's also always been like dips and like peaks and valleys
in every sport
with MMA, especially where there's like, okay, here was this time period, but then there was like a lull. Then there's this time
That's
period.
How it goes.
This is a lull.
And we're in a lull right now. And they come back.
Yeah.
They come back. But the problem is, even if it comes back, it's not going to come back where you have the top 10 in every division's cooking and you're getting great cards because they went from basically 18 cards a year to 40.
Yeah.
So it's impossible because they have shareholders and they got the bottom dollar stockholders now.
This question about the casual thing, though, I don't even think it's that. I think we're getting Soviet rations right now.
Yes.
I don't even think that casuals are like, ooh, you know.
But to your point, too, it's like there's just too many cards where it's impossible to go back to the old days. There's just, like, even if things do, and again, there's up and downs of any sport. Baseball went through it. Football goes through it. You know, you're like, oh, man, they're screwed. And they're never screwed. But the days of like big banger cards that we're all excited for, the world's talking about, those days are done.
For now, at least.
For now.
But they need to do some
People will come along, though.
I want hopefully the Paramount execs hear all the noise that's being made and for the next, and maybe the next, obviously not next quarter, but next year, go, okay, we need to make some adjustments.
I think you're overthinking. I don't think those suits or Paramount are looking at that. They're going, okay, when's Landman season 3? Okay, cool. Yeah, yes to that budget. Hey, the UFC numbers, how are we doing? Good, man. We're getting this. Okay, cool. And they're not listening to all the chaos.
My only thing is I know that like I've had meetings with like Hulu and a couple things like trying to sell shows, and they have different departments for different things. So that department needs to voice what the people are saying. And there is a chance where they go, hey, you know, like the reason why we're not getting the numbers that you guys want is because of X.
That'd be cool.
You know,
that'd be cool. But are they getting the numbers that they wanted? You know, from the UFC reports, they're getting good numbers, which, man, it's almost like, we got to stop watching if we want changes, but we're not going to. Big Buckeye 24, assume he's from Ohio. Not serious. Hopefully he gets a laugh out of you and Nick. Could I? Could I beat up Brian Callen? Meant to be self-deprecating. I don't know how to fight. I'm 40, decently athletic, all-state baseball in high school. You're already a better athlete than Brian. Top 5 wrestling in the state of Illinois in high school, mere 23 years ago. Absolutely zero striking skills or experience, excluding high school and college fights. 2 division national champion. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. 2 division national champion, Arizona State record holder in powerlifting, bench press. I wonder what you did, dude. 5'10", 228 pounds. I ran 3 miles. I ran, quote unquote, 3 miles yesterday in 27 minutes. Wanted to kill myself for 26 minutes to give you an idea of my cardio. Yeah, you could beat Brian. Just your wrestling pedigree alone would beat the shit out of
I'm
you.
going to vouch for Brian on this.
Go ahead.
You know, okay,
he's also 40.
He's 40.
So he's 20 years younger than Brian.
Okay, so let's look at this from like, let's just say we're looking at them tails of the tape.
Yes.
He's got Brian on age and weight.
And a wrestling background. And stronger.
Same height, stronger. But Brian's striking is very good for a not professional fighter.
Sure. But he also can wrestle. He's strong.
Brian can wrestle too.
Brian can't wrestle. Brian can't wrestle.
Not good.
No. Brian can't wrestle.
Not good.
No, Brian can't wrestle.
But
Brian can't wrestle.
And I don't know Brian.
He wrestled in high school for 2 years. Now I played basketball for 2 years. I don't tell people I'm a basketball player.
How's Brian's jiu-jitsu though?
Not great.
Compared to a regular guy.
Not good. So this guy's 5'10". He also had Brian's 170, 180.
No, he's almost 180 now.
Okay.
So 50
This
pounds
guy has
advantage.
50
Almost 60
pounds.
almost 60 pounds.
And a wrestling background at a high level.
So Brian's chance is to try and keep it on the feet. And let's just go, like, we're actually doing like a analyze.
A breakdown?
So breakdown. The only way Brian, I feel like, could win
Footwork?
this is footwork. Brian, because he's talking about his cardio not being great. I think if Brian sticks to the outside, keeps on sticking,
Now, hold on.
getting him tired.
His cardio is not great for his old days. He ran 3 miles in 27 minutes. It would take Brian 2 days and 27 minutes. So 3 miles at 27 minutes, he's fucking cooking.
I'm trying to give Brian some benefit of the doubt here.
Brian's stand up because he does hit mitts and he does have a background in you know what I'm saying? Like this guy would fuck Brian's world up. He's 50 pounds, top 5 wrestling in high school. He's a fucking problem, dude.
I'd say
and he
Brian-
runs fucking 3 miles.
I'd say this guy is a negative 175.
Oh my god, he's a minus 600 against Brian.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
And he's a strongman and shit. You know what stronger he is, Brian? You ever seen Brian's chest?
He doesn't
has
do
no chest.
He doesn't do chest.
This guy fucking set national champion.
He
Arizona
might rip
State.
Brian's shoulders off the hinges.
He just has to avoid getting knocked out right away.
Yeah, if he could weather Brian's pitter patter.
This is how this fight goes. They come out, Brian's gonna throw his bullshit wheel kick. This guy's gonna take Brian's back and suplex him and fuck Brian necks up.
Yeah. So you're going at 600 favorite.
With that background, and he's 20 years younger and has 50 pounds on him and knows how to wrestle, and he's strong, and he runs 3 miles.
Yeah.
Now, if they're the same age, different story.
Same dude.
What about Brian at 40?
Tough with his wrestling background.
Yeah.
And winning strongman contests and shit. His name's Steve, by the way. Big Buck Guy 24 says, is the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you scroll down. You went to the same question, Chin, didn't you?
Oh, no.
No, different question.
Go to the next one since you just answered his. Joe Goldsby.
Let's see if that's, yep.
Yo, more of a statement than a question, but when you talk about numbers with Netflix, oh, this is what I was talking about. Yo, more a statement than a question, but when you talk about numbers with Netflix versus Paramount, are you aware UFC is not available on Paramount outside of the US? So being in the UK, I cannot watch the UFC on Paramount. So the UFC on Paramount has no chance of getting anywhere near the numbers Netflix will. Do you think this is a massive oversight of the UFC when looking at numbers? Also, if you was active in your prime now, where would you think you'd be ranked? Much love to you and the fam. Thanks, brother. Yeah, but we were talking about this on Friday's show. Is in the UK, are you guys watching on HBO? Because that would count
I
towards
want
the
to know the
Paramount
answer
numbers.
to that. That's very interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to know how they're breaking it down because they're doing it somehow.
Because they have to be watching the fights.
Yeah, and it's just Paramount like, well.
Yeah, because they watched UFC London.
Yeah, but that's on TNT. Does that count for Paramount numbers?
I think it has to because it's all on the same card, right? So the card itself is still getting.
But
those
doesn't
views.
Paramount own the rights to all of it? So if you're broadcasting a UFC fight,
So through Amazon Prime or a dedicated app.
Okay, so
Sky.
they're still getting the numbers. I guess just Paramount's not the one getting the eyes, but the card itself is still getting the numbers.
so I
But
bet
you
they-
are still putting.
So if I'm the UFC, I just collectively take all those numbers, not
It's an
just
aggregate of all
Paramount
of them.
subscription. I
Yeah.
take the aggregate of all of them. Like this, is what
Sky
we did.
the Sky.
You'd have to,
yeah.
especially compete with Netflix. But thanks, dude. I didn't know that, to be honest. Dylan Lampley, Jim Lampley's long lost son.
All right. Start from.
The question,
Where?
Bubba. Go down. Shop show question. Was there ever a time where you didn't know what you'd end up doing for a living? If so, what would be your advice if you are late 20s and still haven't found the profession that makes money you want and brings happiness? Oof. So was there ever a time you didn't know what you were end up doing? Yeah, in general, man. I mean, I thought I was going to be an NFL football player for the rest of my life. got cut from there. Just had to figure something else out. Started training. Didn't think I'd have a long career in MMA. I just did it to stay in shape. And then obviously that took off. I didn't expect it, nor was I doing it for money. And then with the podcast, met Brian, and me and him started doing it out of his garage. Didn't expect to make money. I liked it. So I just do things that I like. Like with the car show, this is the thing. Like maybe some people make fun of me because my car show's on Tubi. I don't know. It's not on Netflix, it's not on HBO, it's not on Paramount. It's so hard to sell a TV show. It's so goddamn hard. So originally they wanted that show to be for YouTube, and I left my family, didn't miss any games. I didn't miss anything, but I would leave my family during the week, so I'd miss practices, and I'd shoot the car show, and we're going to shoot 12 of them and be on YouTube, this YouTube thing, or they were hoping to get a TV deal. And then they sent me a schedule, and I was like shooting Florida and Phoenix and all this shit. I went, I'm not doing that, man. They went, really? I went, nah. Until we have like some actual like funding behind it, like I can't keep doing this and leaving leaving the shows and my podcast and my kids, and I can't keep missing practices. Like we got to figure this out. And then some of the team sold it to Tubi. Called me, hey, we on Tubi. I thought, Tubi? Like, yeah, they bought 4 episodes. Went, okay, that's cool. And they said, if it goes good, they're going to order 22 more. All right, cool, man. But the idea behind it, I didn't start getting the cars or sharing like my car stuff with you guys because like, oh, I'm going to make money. I just do it anyways. Like I leave here and I'll go work on my cars before I take my kid to practice before they get out of school. Or like yesterday, I woke up at 3 a.m. because I was so excited. I got a new car part in, and it was the Banks pipes. I posted on my story the bank pipes for the intercool turbos, the hot side and cold side, right? So I was so excited. Like that's just what I love to do. It's my passion, and if that turns into a business, awesome. I'd be doing it anyway. So I guess my advice for you is just do what you love, man. Hopefully it works out. You make money, But all this stuff, I just do it because I'm into it. And if people want to pay me and get on board, all good. And if they don't, all good. Like I don't do extra shows because I think I'm going to get all these extra sponsors and these crazy views. I do extra shows because it's my passion. I love the UFC. I love talking to you guys. I love answering questions. Do I have to do it? No. Do I like to do it? Yes. It's my favorite thing to do? Yes. I look forward to coming here talking to you guys. I look forward to breaking down fights. I look forward when there's a big UFC card. Like my dream day is both my kids have sports, and then at night there's a big UFC. Literally on my deathbed, they're going to say, what were your best days? When my kids have sports and there's big UFCs at night. That's what I do. So I always think if you're chasing anything for money, it never really works out. So I just do kind of what I'm into, and hopefully you guys dig it. And if not, I get it. I'm still going to do it. So I think you need to find something that you're into, man. I think you need to find your passion and just kind of run with it and hope for the best. And then in 10 years, if you wake up like, God, I have nothing to show for it, maybe switch paths.
Yeah, he also probably has a job right now that he's making his money. I would recommend figuring out what you love to do and use what you're doing now to fund the thing that you love. And if that works out, great. Like I did it backwards where I was like, all right, I'm going to give myself no plan B because I love stand-up so much that I'm going to went years without making any money.
It's the only way you can make it, especially when it's that competitive.
Like I lived with 2 other comedians in a studio apartment at one point because I believed if it's something that you believe that you could do, like other people might not see it.
Yeah, it's an investment in yourself where you're like, all right, I'm going to eat shit for a few years and hopefully it works out, but I'm going to put my best foot forward. And here's the thing. People might make fun of me, right? They make fun of me because of my stand-up, or they make fun of me for this or that. It's like, yeah, but I give my best go. And it's like, it's all good. You learn from it. It's all good, man. I had a great fucking time.
I'll never hate on someone who's trying to pursue something.
No, but that's the internet. Like that's the reason they're hating is because they don't have the balls to try it. So they want to shame you into, oh, that's why you failed at this or that. And fail? What do you mean fail? Define fail. What's fail? Oh, that's why you're never UFC champ. Yeah, I didn't fail. I made it to the UFC. It's ranked top 10.
Yeah.
spot on main cards.
That's something not a
Define
lot of
fail.
people say.
Oh, that's why you weren't Tom Brady in the NFL. No, I wasn't. But I still had a shot at the NFL. You know how hard that is to do? You know, 1 out of 3,000 football players that play high school football even get a Division I shot. I played Division I. Mm-hmm. So it's like define fail.
Yeah.
So don't never be scared to attempt stuff, because most of the people and the people hating, that's their own insecurity, so they would never attempt it. Mm-hmm. But if you're writing question this show, I assume you're into fighting, right? I assume you're into fighting or something I do. So if you're into fighting, why don't you watch your favorite shows and go, man, I feel like I can do that, or I can do this, and then start putting content out. Who knows? Maybe build a big following. Who knows? Maybe you're the guy that has these great picks, or maybe you watch the shows. You're watching this show. I'm like, man, that show would be better if you did this. Well, you do it. Mm-hmm. Let's see how it goes, dude. It might be worth a shot. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Yeah, it's shitty to hate on someone actually pursuing something that they want to do.
People that make it, you don't listen. You
and
keep
I also
going.
know that, like, even my stand up, like, I have my fan base, but also I might not be someone's cup of tea, and that's fine.
That's all good.
And you can hate on it. That's cool. But like at the end of the day, like, I've given myself no plan B. I've worked my ass off for this. Even when family's like, you're gonna do stand up. You know what I mean? But I believed enough in myself where I'm like, I'll live with 2 other comedians in a studio apartment.
Eat some
just
shit.
so I could fucking do comedy for free every night.
But it's even like, well, my whole thing is just go. Mm-hmm. Like, just go. Like, when you were talking about this great show idea you had for this workout show called No Legs.
No Leg Days.
Which drops Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. So this coming Thursday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this coming Thursday.
No, not this
They're
one.
watching this on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
this coming Thursday, he drops a new show. It's a brilliant idea. I hope, helped out with the show. Mm-hmm. But you were telling about the idea, and I go, when's it coming? Mm-hmm. You're like, I don't know. No. Pick a date. Mm-hmm. And let's get fucking cooking.
Absolutely.
Because everyone goes, I have this idea. I want to do this. Well, do it. What's stopping you?
Yeah.
Well, fucking set a date, and on that date, you execute. Mm-hmm. And then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Don't think about what's next, 3 episodes, 4 episodes. What am I getting? Just start, and then you start to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. And it's coming along great. Like, the people that we've gotten so far
huge
are people where I'm like, even while we're filming, I'm like, I can't believe this
show's
happening.
Gonna crush.
Yeah.
Absolutely crush.
I'm pumped for it.
Yes.
Yeah, you're guest number 1. It's going to be sick.
Should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's only uphill from there. What else you got,
Real quick, when you're talking about the pipes, we're in the bathroom. Brendan's like in the urinal, and I'm leaving. He's like, he goes, hey, Chen, come here. I'll show you something. I'm like, as he's peeing.
I was taking a hot piss.
He goes, check this out. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he shows me the exhaust pipes, the straight pipes.
Because the stock pipe's 2.5 inches.
He showed me his pipe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm deleting my truck, getting rid of all that bullshit def and EGR. And the stock pipes on that come as like 2.5, I think. And the ones I got are 5 inches. I'm so excited. That stuff gets me going.
I know nothing about trucks, but I saw your story. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it looks sick.
Yeah. Yeah, pipes like this, dude. And big diesel.
What does that do?
It just opens up it sounds so good, like a diesel should sound. But think of your engine as just a big oxygen machine. Uh-huh. The more oxygen you can put into it, the better that engine's going to do. The more power it's going to make. Okay. So, especially in diesel in 2024, which my truck is, the restrictions on it, the EGR, it sounds like a Prius. They put so many restrictions on diesel that it clipped the nuts of this badass truck.
Now I'm going to sound like a Karen.
So I get rid of all that, and I put in the shit that I want, and that thing's running like it come and should.
Is there a way where you get in trouble because I don't know shit about trucks? Because like I know there's like a certain amount where like if a cop hears it or something like that, where they'll like, this is a noise disturbance.
Be cool, man.
Is that a possibility?
Have you heard my Hummer I drive every day? Straight piped.
Is it?
It sounds like a fucking jet. In Texas, they're a little more lenient. There's things that Austin's going to crack down on. Not in my neighborhood. God willing, I've never had any issues. I got pulled over the other day, and the cop was like, dude, this thing's sick. Like, most of them are cool. In California, it's North Korea, it's a little different. In California, notice I didn't post deleting any of my vehicles, any straight pipes. There's none of that, because they'll fucking throw you in prison. Texas, a little more loose.
Sure.
And there's a lot more straight piped and EGR deletes here. But like, I can't.
So your neighbors know when you're coming home.
They know what's up.
I used to get tickets all the time too because I did the straight pipe. So you basically, at least for the imports,
you get an actual ticket.
Yeah. So we removed the catalytic converter and just put a straight. There's no restriction, so it just flows out, but it makes a fucking loud ass noise. And of course, the cops in California, they know what's up, so they're going under.
And now your car sounds like a quiet fart.
Yeah, it does. What else you got, Jen?
Coach Noble.
Can you make a Tesla sound loud? Or there's no point?
They have a fake thing you can do,
Yeah,
but
I'm not
there's
doing
nothing there. It's like a dude put on a dress shirt. I can still tell you're a dude.
Blasting music, but it's
Like if you're gonna do it, you gotta do. If you're gonna do it, you gotta.
Audio of a loudspeaker.
Yeah,
that's
if
all
you're
it
gonna
is.
do it, you gotta do it, man. Just toss a fucking gas engine in it or diesel engine. If you're gonna fake me out, dude, you gotta go the whole. You gotta chop the trunk, get tits. It's like you just can't put on some rouge and a dress and be like, "My name's Mary." Now, like, Coach Noble 12. Okay. My kid also does travel ball, softball. So it's a female, I assume. You have a little girl. Just curious if you get as amped up, as nervous while your kids are in the big moments of their sport as you did while in the UFC. Dude, when my kid's pitching and it's against a tough team, buddy, I'm so amped up. I have to go away from the parents because I'm yelling stuff like he'll strike a kid out and go, get some. Who else wants some? But no one hears it.
You're Danny McBride and Eastbound and Down.
Yes, 100%. I get so fired up. I also get so nervous. When he pitches or he's at bat, I get so nervous. I don't get nervous in football. I don't know. Baseball's just a different animal.
I guess it's really just the one-on-one. It's probably like watching wrestling or...
It's that, and we put a lot of work in and time into it, so that you're invested. You're like, and I want him to do good because he knows, I know how he's going to feel if he doesn't. So I think that's why I get so nervous. And you also want to see your kid compete, especially when it's like high-level baseball, like major level, like good pitching. You're like, you want him to do well.
Yeah.
It's so nerve-wracking. He also says every major league ends in a tournament. When will the UFC take the next step and create an 8 or 16-man tournament to neither be the champ or face the champ? Would be different and maybe inject some life into the business. Could easily create stars as well. Yeah, maybe. I mean, PFL does this. It's a bit of a nightmare. It's hard for people to keep up with tournaments. I think fighting's a little different. I mean, obviously Pride did it because they had the stars. Strikeforce did it. They had the stars. UFC used to do it, but I think the game's changed a little bit today. I just don't think the casuals would keep up with it. So if you're like, quarterfinals, they're like, what the fuck is this? PFL does this, it's a disaster.
Well, you know what happened? I don't know if you ever watched that. There was a season of Ultimate Fighter when DJ was champ. And at that time, they couldn't find anybody that could give DJ competition. So what they did was they got all the champs from all the different
cool.
organizations.
Yeah, that was cool.
And they created a bracket. And I think Elliot, what's Elliot? Forgot his
Tim
last
Elliott.
name. Tim Elliott, yeah. He ended up winning the whole thing, got to face DJ, which was
cool.
that was a really cool thing
That's
that
dope.
they did. Like, I like that for like trying to create just some.
That'd be dope. Like get the KSW heavyweight champion, the one championship.
Like if you got the
Cage
top
Warrior.
10 in the heavyweight division to have a tournament,
That'd be cool.
That'd be really sick.
That'd get my attention. Mm-hmm. I'll coach it. What else you got, Jen?
Give it a sec. There we go.
All right, let's do it. Last one. Running _N_gun. I assume it's gunning. Buddy, love the show with Nick. Now, Chin, always great.
Thank you, man.
Please shed more light on UFC cards. I'll DM you more info here if you want to chat a little about it. Oh, he means like trading cards. I thought he meant like, I'm going to give you inside fighting. More light on UFC cards. There's some badass cards I don't have of when I fought.
Card? Do you have a card?
I have a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
I got some from my kids. I had them when I fought, and then I bought some off eBay, which definitely just give me, right? But then like the special ones, like the ones that are cut out from my fight short stuff, I wish I had those.
That's sick. Yeah.
I know. I swear collecting shirtless guys on cards is fun. I sell whatnot. Same name, running _N_gutting. Go buy cards from Running and Gutting. All right. Actual question. Who helps Vegas create the odds for the UFC on Sportsbook? I thought the same fucking thing.
The Mafia.
Who's doing it?
It's got to be someone
Who's
in the
coming
mob.
up with these odds? Like who goes, for instance, yesterday's fight, Aaron Pico versus Pitbull, they go, he's a -360. I would go, really? Why?
Because they always know something.
And they go, well, because his first fight, if he just doesn't make that, like, who's the experts who sets the odds? Now, you got to realize, too, a lot of times they make the odds because they want action on it to get your money. So if Pico's a big favorite, You're probably thinking like I am. We're like, Pitbull's a beast. He fought Yair Rodriguez decision. He just beat Dan Ige. Aaron Pico has one fight. He's never really proved himself. They're like, yeah, so put money on Pitbull. So a lot of times I think they're doing it to get movement.
Except for sometimes I do think that they know some insider information, like there's an injury or something.
Well, that's illegal, sir.
But that's why I think the mafia is a part of it.
So here you go. Early odds are generated by analysts looking at fighter statistics, previous performance, and stylistic matchups. Market influence, the crowd, rather than being perfect, lines are adjusted based on where the money is going, with the price moving to balance the books. While many books exist, a few major operators, including Johnny Alvio at DraftKings, set the pace for odds in the industry. Companies like Oddmatrix and in-house odds makers use algorithms and real-time data to adjust prices instantly based on betting trends.
Real-time data. See? So if they hear something about an injury, that could move the numbers. Interesting.
I've always wondered who's figuring out. Who's these experts who know?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's interesting. Hope that answers your question a little bit, my man. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Sunday. Hope you enjoyed the fights yesterday. Hope you enjoyed Game Bread. Your boy's back from the DR. I love you guys. Again, if you want your questions answered, especially on Mondays and Fridays episode, we take the YouTube questions first. Submit them down below in the YouTube comments. Chin and Nick will see them, and we'll answer them on Mondays and Fridays episode. Sundays for all the social media questions, all right? Then also, if you want me to change the show's name back to Big Brown, put it in the comments. Just put Big Brown. Or if you want to leave it as a Shop Show, put the Shop Show. But if you want Big Brown Breakdown, put it in the comments. Nick's going to tally it up. If we get a lot more Big Brown than Shop Show, I will change the show next week. We'll go straight old school back to the logo and everything. It's going to be dope. But I'm only doing it if you guys give a fuck. All right? That's it. Love you. Thank you for watching. Submit your question below. Big Brown or Shop Show down below. Love you guys. See you Monday.
When you're in a bind, you will find a new fight card to be broken down. And you can't fall asleep, 'cause he'll go balls deep on a card coming Saturday night. It's Big Brown, Big Brown, the Big Brown Breakdown coming to your town. He's big and he's brown, the Big Brown Break. Some of that was good. Down.
Brendan Big Brown Schaub.
Yeah.
Dude. Dude, that is fucking badass.
One more?
All right, man.
He's putting the house money down. That's what I like to do. This is when Chin and I it's all gravy at this point.